जयपुर वाया कोटा।
कृपया ध्यान आपो अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत.
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವ ರೈಲು
एक्सप्रेस পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন कृपया ध्यान दियो
I got news for you. And for you and for you as well. So it's for everybody. What has happened to the first match is what has happened to me by everyone I've ever loved. It's been abandoned. That's right.
You looking for sympathy? You looking for... Listen, man, we're here for you. We're not going to leave you, okay? We'll stay with you.
Well done.
Okay?
Your turn.
My producers just
Badly
saying that okay.
See? Exactly. This is exactly what rain did to the first
contract
match between Chennai and Lucknow. This is what it did. It's like it's a little few drops and it's a little more and it covers off and it's on and then it's abandoned. It's done. So that is very interesting because now, this points table is all...
there's a gentleman who will like that.
Yeah, come on. Go on. I know what's happening with you. Your brain's exploding.
No.
Go on.
The points table is totally changed because this result means the 11s come into play, the odd numbers come into play. And the moment the odd numbers come into play, the symmetry on that leaderboard will change totally.
And net run rate becomes useless, doesn't it?
For a lot of teams, net run rate will be useless. All the teams on the odd numbers, net run rate will be between them. No other run rate will matter.
So net run rate is not useless. It could still come into play.
It could still come into play. The 11s will have a separate run rate. The odds will have a separate run rate to worry about. The evens will have a separate run rate. Unless there's another rain day, in which case things get even more interesting.
Because it is raining in the north.
Depending who that's for.
True.
Or against, as the case may be.
That's right. In this case, both the teams, they don't have a choice. They're both going to take 1 point. That's Lucknow and Chennai. It's quite a bummer because I wanted to watch this match.
It looked like a very sort of slow, weirdish wicket.
Except Ayush Badoni, who seemed to be playing on a different surface.
Resurrection.
Actually, the team that will think they're more hard done by is probably Chennai. Because what would have happened is that if the surface, basically it rained a bit and you took it off, the spinners wouldn't have worked. They would have found it difficulty gripping the ball.
Yeah.
So whatever target you do, generally, it's much, much more difficult to defend if the ball is a little bit like a bar of soap.
Yeah, a bar of soap. Don't drop that. Let's tell you what's happening in the second game, because there's 2 games today. And it's not raining in Mohali. It's not raining there, right? Because it's raining a lot in the north. So it's apparently a hailstorm in Delhi, what we learned. But there is no rain in Mohali. And that match is between Punjab and Mumbai. And Mumbai's won the toss, yeah? And bowling. Oh, they're chosen to bowl. So they're going to be chasing up in Mohali. What do you make of this decision? They're happy to chase after that last one on Sunday.
Yeah, I think what it does is it affords Punjab the opportunity, because remember they chose to bowl first as well, right?
Correct.
And got 201, I think it was, in pursuit of 257. They couldn't get there, right? And so it affords them the opportunity to be aggressive and try and bat Mumbai out of the game.
Yep.
So they literally must go out and ensure they set some sort of platform, but it's pedal to the metal all the way. And the hope, I think, is also that, because I understand they're playing on the very same pitch, so the hope will be that it'll kind of die a little bit because it's been used before, and when you turn up again, you think, okay, this is a good pitch, let's use it again. But by virtue of the fact that it is used, it's not going to perform in the same way as before. Try as they might to seal it, a little bit of water, yes, sun and roll, a bit more rolling. There's less there. It's not as fresh.
But Punjab should keep in their mind that, yes, there was 257 hit against us. But you don't go out saying, we're going to get 250, because that's a surefire recipe to get skittled for 150.
Yeah, I think you've got to kind of temper it all down, right? As I'm saying, older pitch, expected to die a bit more. So instead of 250, probably wasn't par. They probably gave away too many then. And, 200, 210, 250. If they aim sort of 185-ish and get on their way well,
Yeah.
then perhaps they hit the 215 that
Do
they might
it
desire.
because this pitch is awake to batters. The first one was asleep. This one's awake. We were asleep a bit when the rain was. This is good coffee, yeah. By the way, you had this coffee earlier. This is good coffee. It's
Lovely, yeah.
Yeah, not that dishwater from international chain dishwater that you were wanting to drink. Yeah, go local, man. Go artisanal. I am artisanal. Just like Joy has some artisanal stats for us.
No,
That's
the
why he's been staring at his phone. Come on.
I've just been staring at my phone
Give
for
us.
2 reasons. One was that Rohit Sharma turned around, they asked him that, what would you do? So he says, we'll bowl because, I asked Shikhar Dhawan, the other captain, and he said he'd like to bowl. So I thought I'd also bowl first. And that is so Rohit. That is so Rohit. He said he'll bowl. So I said, okay, great.
They're
I'll
great
bowl.
buddies, so why not?
So why not?
Just like Pommie took my advice on the coffee, Rohit took Shikhar's advice on what to do
don't
again.
know. I don't know that in a space where you're competing with the other guy, you would ask the other
and
guy.
how disarmingly he asked it. He said he'll bowl. So great. Must be a good pitch. He'll bowl first. So then Shikhar, of course, backed him up by saying, I would have also bowled first. He bailed him out. If Shikhar said, I wanted to bat.
So I told him I'd bowl.
I wish Shikhar had done that because that would have been fun. That would have been fun.
Yeah, the other was that they just, as what is happening in this IPL, you have 10 teams, so you have far more players. Is players come out of nowhere.
Okay.
So Riley Meredith is not playing. Apparently there's Akash Madhwal is playing. So I was just looking him up and he's interesting. He's from Uttarakhand. He's a fast bowler, does well. So very, very interesting to see how he'll go out here. So one more new player blooded in this tournament, and that's fantastic.
That's really exciting. Nathan Ellis is back for Punjab. Matthew Short is back for Punjab. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, well.
Because Nathan Ellis was good, and then they left him, and then they haven't given him a run. Sorry.
I don't think they've given anyone a run.
Yeah, but
It's Punjab.
It's
They don't
Punjab.
do that.
You were talking about this earlier, weren't you? You're saying that you look at one side, CSK, as the best example, actually, when it comes to consistency of selection and keeping the team.
Of giving you the runs.
Yeah, giving you a run and and getting the runs. Yes. And then Punjab are probably the example when it comes to what they're doing now.
But still better than Delhi. Delhi's used 22 out of their 25 players.
Oh, goodness.
So Punjab still, I don't think Punjab's used.
It's a capital of our country, nation's democracy. It's a democratic team. Everyone gets a chance.
That's true. It's the chair. You leave the chair, somebody else sits on it. It's Delhi. It's the political
I
capital.
tell you what, the Punjab guys will probably be able to say, well, we can justify it. We're not down the bottom of the table.
Yeah.
We're a win away from being right up at the top. So, we're going okay. So despite you thinking that we should be picking whoever and whatever, it's kind of going okay for us. So,
Yeah, let's have a look at that points table just to back up what Pommie's saying and see where Punjab is and also where Mumbai is. Because remember, Mumbai is on 8 points. So if they win today, they go to 10. But Punjab can go up to 12, which means they will go above both Lucknow and Chennai, who have just had this split point game. And they will be sitting second on the table, depending on, because their net run rate, of course, that's negative. So they are a good point behind Gujarat. So they're not making that up unless they win by an innings and 100 runs, right? So they're not making that 1 point up. So they can potentially go up to number 2. Stratospheric heights for this team, right? Because they have been this is a stat you like. They've been finishing 6th, I think, for the last, 6 years?
Yeah, absolutely.
60 years or something.
And every time they plateau to deceive, they'll have 2-3 really good knocks. First, Punjab, typical story. Release a lot of players. Come to auction.
And they get a new captain.
Very aggressive, get a new captain, buy some really nice, shiny new players. They'll win some of their first 2-3 games. They'll win a couple of games, look really good, and then they'll fade. Something will happen. And it's a tragedy.
Yeah, I think if I say this, maybe you'll agree, maybe you won't. But they contrive to kind of grab defeat from the jaws of victory. They just seem to do it year after year. So when they do give us those games where they're fantastic and you think, oh, gee, they're good, they're going to be okay this year, then they get into another game and they dominate just about the whole game and then at the back end fall over.
Yeah.
And they do it twice or 3 times in a season.
Correct.
And you think,
You're right. Really close, but the wheels just seem to come off.
Yeah. And it's just like, these guys were a shoo-in for at least 4th, then they're 6th.
Yeah. Suddenly Sheldon Cottrell will get hit for 5-6. Something happens.
Something happens.
Yeah, but
KL Rahul, winning game, they lose. Remember, it happened.
Correct.
Super over, lose the super over.
Correct. Yeah, were they involved in the 2 super over game?
I think they were involved in one of the
Yeah,
Super
them and Mumbai. It was these 2 teams that had the don't do it today. We've already had a rough time with this rain. Trying to stay awake. Because remember, we don't do 3.5-hour shows when it's raining, right? We just come on when we need to. So sitting around is, maybe next time we'll just do a 2-hour show. It's just nicer.
Have a watch along.
Have a watch along. There's nothing to watch.
But what are you going to watch?
It's just in along.
No.
Keep going.
Watch along as in they
They watch along.
watch along, all right? With us.
More like a suffer along. All right, let's have a look at the teams and see what both captains have done. Best buddies on either side, Shikhar Dhawan and Rohit Sharma. So Shikhi, of course, captaining. There's Prabh Simran Singh, Matthew Short, Liam Livingston, Jitesh Sharma, Sam Curran, Shah Rukh Khan, Rahul Chahar, Harpreet Brar, Rishi Dhawan and Arshdeep Singh. So this is their batting 11 because they're going to be batting first. And obviously they're playing, since you see only 3 aeroplanes there, that means probably Rabada's coming in as their impact sub or Nathan Ellis as their...
That's they.
Either or.
Yeah, it could.
Because they're
be
batting first right now. Do we have the impact list as well? Do we have those 5 subs?
I think they'll be
We don't.
doing that, but
Do you know, I like this way of going about things. And I suppose it doesn't say you're not sure. It says this is kind of, you're happy with the batting that you have there. If you
Rishi Dhawan comes at 8 there. I mean, he's in the list
Yeah,
down,
if-
but he
if-
comes at 8 essentially. So the batting...
he up
pretty
to 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Chahar is the next.
Shah Rukh at 7 and Rishi Dhawan at 8 and then Rahul Chahar at 9. It stops there.
And the reason I say I like it is because it says we want our impact player to make an impact should we need that impact player. So whenever and wherever we need the impact player, we'll use them. And what you'll have is the batting goes along, and if it clicks and goes well and there's no need to add a batter, and that is to say in the power play, you don't lose 2 or 3 and then you end up kind of scrambling and needing another batter further down to finish off the innings, then you don't need to call on a batter.
So no Rabada there. Could be Sikandar Raza, you never know, right?
Yeah,
So
if-
here
if
it's
you
very
need
clear.
it.
But looks
Mumbai-
like Ellis.
Mumbai is clearly Surya Kumar Yadav.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
doubt at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was looking very clean shaven today when he got off the bus. Almost didn't recognize him. All right. So maybe that's why they're not playing.
the other
him,
one's
because in Indian
interesting.
cricket you have to have a beard to play.
I'm just looking at these teams and you're just wondering, as a bowling 11, this is there. Akash Madwal comes in. So they're basically bowling. Nail can bowl a bit. Cameron will definitely bowl. Kartikeya, Jofra Archer, Arshad Khan, Piyush Chawla, Akash Madwal. That's their attack. About 6 decent bowlers. You know,
New ball with Cameron Green
take it as Jofra, Cameron.
Jofra Archer.
Akash could also take the new ball.
Yeah, they usually, I think they'll do that and bring Jofra in just a little later, right? But wouldn't you like to just see Jofra up front?
I
Just
love
give him the new
watching
ball.
him. I love watching him bowl, man. He bowls swiftly. That run up so effortless, and you just want to watch him bowl. I do. I'm a fan of many actually, as you watch them as they go. But him particularly because last year all of it gone, injured for a lot of the time, and sort of kind of sporadically coming in, and for him to get into some sort of rhythm and get into the tournament and be the guy for the Mumbai Indians. I say that because, I mean, somebody has to fill these big shoes that have been left. And I know some aren't even thinking of the guy now because out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
But you imagine.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, boom, boom, man. Imagine the both of them together. That'd be something.
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, not if you're a batter facing them, but as a fan sitting on the outside, yeah, it does sound like a juicy proposition, a spicy meatball. All right, we've got a little questionnaire, survey sitch coming up. This is called Who You Got. Who you got? Who you got? Who you got? All right. So who you got? Because there's 2 very valuable assets in each team. Broke the bank did Punjab for Sam Curran. Similarly, Mumbai did that for Cameron Green. If you had to pick one of the 2 in your T20 team as an all-rounder, come on, who'd you pick? Who'd you pick?
Oh, in your own team?
In your own team, yes.
So, can I go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Yes, go. Which of the babyface assassins are you taking?
Yeah, I'm going for Sam.
Okay.
And my reason is I like his versatility
All right.
with both bat and with ball. Good fielder, yes, to take that for granted. Really good skills with ball in hand. He can swing it, can bowl up at the top in the power play, can bowl in the middle with those cutters, and he's got a good York, as he's shown us. He can try and defend, even if he bowls the last one. Not many to defend. He's pretty good at the back as well. And then you can do exactly the same thing when it comes to batting, where up at the front you can send him to go and attack that power play, to go at it if you want. You can just put him in a normal position. He'll bat 6 or 5 or 7, whatever it is, and bat in the middle overs and try and go at it and then come in at the back end. Or he can be just a big impact at the back, 5, 6 balls that he has, try and finish it off for us. So yeah, I also go with him just because there's a bit more experience. Even I'm not sure who's older. He might even be younger than Cameron
I think he's
Green.
younger than Cam Green, isn't he?
He'll be younger than Cameron Green.
No, I think he's just a bit.
I'll have a look, see on
but
the
have
app.
more.
I
He
think
definitely,
he's a bit older.
he
slightly
definitely
older.
has more experience, and so that's
Because
why
Cameron
I go
Green
for
is
him.
pretty young himself.
Okay. You?
I'd go for Sam Curran, but I am actually really impressed by Cameron Green. I thought he was a big budget buy, and for a guy with that little experience, it seemed a lot of money to play for a guy who's played really little T20 international cricket. And basically, it was in the back of 3 big. He opened in India because I think Warner was not there.
Yes.
And he got big innings here just before the auction. So I said, typical auction fever, balls at 140. But here's the thing. I think he's really developed. I mean, in this one season, his rolling curve has been really sharp. And I think his bowling is still a long way there. He bowls the standard stuff, but, the slow ones, the variety. Sam Curran has infinitely more variety at this stage in time. If you ask me, purely on a T20 basis, I'd say Sam Curran at this point is a better player and probably will remain the better player because of his versatility, exactly as he said.
Yeah.
But I feel Cameron Green, the kind of skills he has, he could be a three format cricketer for a long time. I think he's got some serious wheels.
I've just checked on the Cricbuzz app. Cameron Green is 23, Sam Curran is 24, and you thought Cameron Green is older because you're a heightist. Heightist.
I tell you what, I only thought Sam's the younger one because he's got this baby face.
Yeah,
and-
Baby-faced assassin. Huh?
yeah.
That's
It's
what
like
he is.
you think Piyush Chawla is 18 still. I do.
You know.
All of us are 6'2", but we are not heightists. You are. All right, I've got another one. I've got a white. So we've come up with this white cap over here, right, for impact players who bat in the end.
yes.
I don't know what exactly the rules are because I wasn't here. I didn't make that game.
I was sitting right there when we did that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You guys went behind my back and did this, which doesn't.
My only thing
happen.
was white is boring. They should have chosen,
What about a unicorn cap? I like that.
unicorn cap. But now we've got to stick to either Vonnie will call us and say nasty things.
Bonnie can't call us because he's probably on a flight right now, or he's in his backyard cooking up like a roast.
No,
or something.
or possibly he's landed and just telling us, you're doing a double header while I'm having a good wine.
He just texted me, in fact, and said, "How's the rainy day double header going?" So
Clearly he's watching.
He's watching.
Or
He's
trying
having-
to. He was
having
trying to watch.
don't worry, Bonnie, we'll get you one as well. Get you a double header where it rains in both games. Oh no, then the day gets over early. Sorry, no, take it back.
Second game.
Yeah, I'm wishing him a punishment and I'm making it easier for him. Where it rains only in the second game. And it just keeps raining. Okay, who do you pick? In the white cap race, we got 2 players.
Right.
Roll the drums. Jitesh Sharma and Tim David. Joy.
Okay, I'll go first this time. I just like, at this point in time, I'll take Jitesh Sharma. I think David again is a bigger hitter, but I think Sharma, I just like his grit and the fact that he hits spin as well, really well.
Yeah.
And I think David requires a little bit more time to get going. And if you see Punjab this year, one of the things Punjab is doing very well, despite us not respecting them in that way, because we've fallen in love with too many Punjab teams and have been disappointed. So, we are always...
And Punjabis
And
tend to let you down.
I'm a Punjabi feel. I live in Delhi.
I know what he's saying. They're coming for me today. Mom, they're coming for me.
What did we say right at the beginning? He turned up here and he said, what? Don't use
Fortress, process, execution, momentum.
Execute your plans.
Execute your plans, the phrase. Otherwise, go to jail for 7 days.
He said.
This is what he said. So we said both barrels today. So, hey, that's relatively mild. What he's done there.
This is a really rough neighborhood, you know.
But as I was saying, the Punjab's thing is that though they are playing what is supposed to be top-level T20 cricket,
Yeah.
nobody gives us above 50. Everyone comes, hits a run rate, you bat till 8, you keep going. Wicket fall, you're 2 down, 3 down, you keep going. There are days you'll be 90 all out, but 8 times out of 10 you'll reach 170, 180.
You know,
That's the
fairness,
man
this only happened with them. I think he said once when Shiki got that 99 and everybody else kind of collectively failed. Otherwise, these guys, and I guess we're all guilty of not giving them enough credit because we talk about the Gujarat team and how everyone's pitching in and they're all doing it. These guys have shown a lot of mettle that way as well. They've had a few decent totals, well, not decent, formidable totals, when nobody's got a 50 or nobody's kind of run away with it. Everyone's kind of contributed together. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, if you go back to last season, actually, and you think about how they lost their way and the way they were going to play, I think they got gun shy. Yeah. They decided with the likes of Rajapaksa, with
Bairstow, did Bairstow play last season? He did. Yes, Bairstow played last season.
Livingston.
Correct.
With
Jitesh, Shahrukh.
They decided that the way they were going to go is they were going to come at everybody and absolutely smash it. And then what happened is they got out. I think there were 2 games where, whoopsie, what's happened there? 5 down for nothing.
And they lost.
And so then decided they were going to change how they played. I think what they're doing is kind of going back there. And sometimes the regulations work for some teams, don't they? Now what they have as a cushion is, hey, you can have an impact player. So you can have an extra batter. So remember that plan you wanted to go with last season? You can try it again. Why? Because if you lose 2 or 3, it's okay. You got another one sitting in the bank, in the dugout. No problem. And they are that sort of side who look to play with power. And it's worked quite nicely, I think, for Shikhar Dhawan. That chase you're talking about, I think it's going to be a case study, I'm telling you, where a team just goes at it. And 200 is not an easy chase because you can't put a foot wrong. And it looked very much like they'd put their foot in it by kind of playing around in the middle, the 2 Englishmen together, and then Livingston went berserk. And Curran at the back end also started to go, but in the end they managed to get it done. If they get it right, it's fabulous to watch. But it can also go horribly wrong.
Yeah, it can go either way. But if they stick to their guns, they stick to their conviction, their auction strategy, then they're capable of getting very big scores. Just to round up that discussion, Jitesh or Tim David, Pom?
Yeah, on form currently, quite obviously for me, Jitesh. I like how he's going. But if I'm picking for my side and going with I'm going to keep picking him all the time, I like Tim David.
Tiny Tim?
Yeah, I like him. The Goliath that is
Tiny Tim the Goliath.
Yeah.
Also, I was thinking today, you look at that lineup and Atharva Tede has gone out and Short has come in. And I think one of the things they're doing is therefore they've taken out Sikandar Raza because they needed to play an Indian player. The interesting part about that is that I think they're looking at Mumbai, and Mumbai doesn't have really scary spinners. I mean, Piyush is an interesting guy. So where is the weakness? Where do you think, if you see Matthew Short as a player, where do you think he's weak? He's not the greatest player of spin. They look at this attack, they look at the pitch, which is a fairly true pitch. It doesn't really help spinners. Look at the attack and says, Matthew Short's the kind of guy who on pitches like this in Australia really plunders runs. So I think that's the tactical change that they made, saying he'll go up front and he can really whack it. If he whacks it, Shikhar can afford to play around a bit, which was the original plan with Delhi.
Mumbai, of course, has had bowling issues and they've had them since the auction, but they've kind of been scraping together this bowling attack, and you'll have 1 or 2 who'll kind of run away with it. But what has always happened for them, and has worked for them in previous seasons, there's always been one gun international quick, right, who's done the job for them. It was Malinga, it was Bolt. So they've always had this, Pollard used to come and bowl. They've always had this gun international quick bowler. But now when you look at, they've used a lot of international quicks here, right? What is it? 5. And the last one is not Marco Janssen, that's D.
Yeah.
That should be D Janssen,
Janssen.
his
Wow,
twin.
yeah.
So Berendorf, Cameron Green, Riley Meredith, Jofra Archer, and D Janssen, not Yum Yum. But there you go. They need these guys because at the end of the day, there's a lot dependent on them because their Indian quicks are inexperienced, young.
Yeah, look, I think right now Jofra is going to be the guy who's been given the ball. And the good thing about Jofra is that, his bowling statistics even in the last match were not impressive. But he looked as if he's coming back to form. No bowler, no fast bowler. Pommie will tell you more than anything. You can't walk into a match. You've just had an operation, come into it, do 2 net practices and put the ball there immediately. He's just bowled a couple of balls. Some of his balls, he's looked at paces there, that bounce is there. And you said, Jofra is there. He's just almost there. And if he bowls a couple of more matches, once he gets his rhythm, because he's so much a rhythm player, look at the way he runs up to the crease.
Yeah.
Just so much of it is rhythm, pure strength, beauty. He's a monster of a bowler.
Yeah.
So if he gets his rhythm, even if he gets whacked around a bit, the Mumbai coaches, Shane Bond, will look at him and saying, look, I like the way he's running in.
Yeah.
And if he runs in like that, he'll get it. 1 match, 2 match, it doesn't matter. So I think he'll definitely play. Cam Green will play because he bats. He's giving you that up front as well. And while he's not the greatest bowler at the death right now, they feel that they'll have to use other bowlers there. One day he'll learn, but till then, he can give us 2-3 overs up front. And I think that's what they'll settle on. I think the rest are now going to find it difficult because you've got to play Tim David.
Yeah.
And, the other international players, it's very difficult for you to play another bowler.
Yeah, they obviously, if you ever look at the Mumbai side, this of course is the bowling side. So we see the bowlers that they're playing when we have a look at that team. They have Jofra Archer that they're playing, and they also have 3.
Yeah, they'll be getting Behendorf in.
Yeah, but they're
Wait,
bowling.
no.
Yeah,
This is a
their
batting
bowling
side.
team.
This is a batting team.
They'll get Surya in.
This is a batting team.
So they're going to get Surya
in. Yeah,
This
is a bowling team, they'll get Surya.
Yeah, so they'll get Surya in because they'll be batting second, which means that they are just going into this game with 3 foreigners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they felt Meredith is injured.
Yeah.
They wanted, then they said they'd play Akash ahead of him. Akash ahead of Behendorf.
And Akash had a Berendorf basically.
Yeah. Akash going ahead of him.
Well, they must have seen something in the nets, right? That's a decent call. It's a big call.
Yeah, I'm wondering, as I sit there, I'm sort of wondering if they're thinking, look, bowling either way is not going to make too much of a difference. They think that the pitch is quite good, and so basically everyone's going to be fetching. It's a case of managing the damage, and I can manage it with this, and where am I going to get more out of my overseas player? Am I going to get more out of a batter, or am I going to get more out of a bowler? And if I have to make that choice as we go along, I'll make it. But I'm kind of leaning towards should I need an extra batter, I'll get an extra batter and get an extra batter in and manage how we go. So that's all I can think when it comes to the 3. I do like the pick 3 overseas because you give yourself all the options.
Yeah.
But when you pick 4, it's eggs in one basket, and they've got to do whatever they need to do in order for you to go okay. So, I don't mind the fact that they decide, well, can I get more out of this and can I get more out of that?
The interesting thing is when you put Surya in the impact list, you have put your eggs in a basket because you're definitely getting him in.
Yeah,
There's no way you're leaving him out.
You have no choice. You're right. You have no choice. So if Surya is there, you have no choice.
Yeah.
If Arshad Khan's there, you have a choice.
You're like, all right, I could get an international, I could get a domestic, but putting Surya, so it's quite interesting. We'll see, of course, how they use their bowlers.
See, also what
they
is
thought.
happening is that players who are not 100% fit, 80% fit, 90% fit, a lot of those are going into impact. Faf is a great example.
Yep.
So impact is being used for that also. If Surya has a bit of a niggle, he doesn't drop a match, he just bats.
Yeah, fair enough. And they definitely need Surya's batting, and they'll need it here in Mohali because it is going to be a run fest, okay? A run fest. Not like first game, which was rain fest. No run fest. It's going to be a run fest. All right, gents. It's time for the most important part of the show, which is guessing our scores, because everything else is just filling up time till we reach here.
How many have you won this year, Pommie?
I won 2, I think.
Are you
He's come for about 3 days and he's won 2.
Are you serious?
I did.
Well
I
done.
just,
Then he.
I don't know. It just happened.
Good. Just carrying
Yeah.
his crystal ball with.
Okay, in which case you go first?
194.
In which case he should go last anyway.
194.
194 is my score.
94. Okay, what do you do?
I tend to lowball, so I'll go 186.
Oh, that's low ball. I like it.
2,
2,
2, 202.
202. Oh, 196, 202, 186. Yeah, okay. He's done. He's done. Okay, right. Here. Yeah.
Jaipur via Kota,
कृपया ध्यान आपको अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत लखनऊ जंक्शन
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವವರೇ ಚೆನ್ನೈ ತಿರುಚಿರಾಪಳ್ಳಿ
Hyderabad Bhattacharjya Express পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন। कृपया ध्यान दो